Shalom, my name is Biscuit and in this video I'm going to create a roguelike game. I'm going to use the newest features of the C++ standard. And like any good text-based game, there's going to be lots of data to begin with. First I'm going to define some coins. They will be used later in the game. Then some kind of tunnels. These are also going to be used very soon. This is my interface for random number generators. I'm going to use the template function to calculate the size of a... this is going to be too fast for me to comment it on. I'm trying to create commentary while I'm watching this video. So anyway, let's move on. Yeah, these regular expressions are a feature of the newest C++ standard. They were possible to use before in the previous versions of C++ using the boost library, but now they are standard. I'm using GCC version 4.9. The previous versions didn't support regular expressions. I will probably not comment it on everything that is on the screen. It's difficult to think something to say, but if you have questions, just ask them in the comments. How I'm going to create the rooms here and the puzzles here is when the player walks into a new room, the game is going to at the same time generate new rooms around the player, and whatever the player has seen so far are going to be recorded in that map. And this char function, whatever it's pronounced, it converts them to text. If it finds something in the map, in the room map, it gives the hash mark telling whether there's a wall, and if there was nothing, it's just a spaced character. This is where they are actually generated. Now generate the view of what the player sees. It's 9 characters height here. 9 characters tall and 11 characters wide. And then on the right side of the player's view there's going to be text which describes what the player sees there. And this loop is going to print both of them at the same time. Okay, let's test it. That was 4 minutes so far. This print file is something I created. I will explain it probably later. So you see here, it's basic movements here, and the player can see what they see and so on. Okay. Now I'm going to improve a little bit how the commands are read. Previously it was just reading a line and then passing it, and that's it, but I'm going to create some extra features to it using a class here. So this class is going to print the prompts first, and then it reads the line from the player. This is simple stuff. But now, to make it more complex, I will add a command line history there, so it actually remembers what you have typed before. And there's a command which you can use to list whatever you have typed before. It remembers the last 10 commands, and only those commands which are at least 5 characters long. There's a possibility to also invoke commands from the history, that's the whole point. So if you type a long command, you don't need to type it again. You can just fetch it from the history. Here's a feature which also allows to repeat the same command many times. If you type, for example, 10 west, it will do 10 times west. And also to make some commands a little bit simpler to type, I'm going to add some aliases here. For example, if you type LA, it is the same as if you type look at, and so on. Not all of these commands are implemented so far, but I'm just creating them here, so I will not need to jump back and forward in the video, in the file when I do implement those commands. So now the part which actually parses those aliases. That was it. Okay, let's test it. So let's go 5 west, then 10 west, then 20 east. And all of these commands were quite short, you don't see in the history many of them, but if I type artificially such a command as look at me, you can see it in the history, and I can repeat it. Okay, let's move on. Let's add some colors so it will look more interesting. This color support, it requires the, you may know the ANSI, however you pronounce it, VT100 colors, which of course do always work at almost always work at Linux, but in Windows it's a more complicated thing. This Linux program, or at least it assumes a terminal. It can be compiled on Windows as well. There's nothing in the program itself which only works in Linux, but how the colors are produced, it assumes that the terminal can interpret these sequences. Okay, I created a custom terminal which replaces the std cout. So now I just replaced every occurrence of std cout with my custom terminal, and now I'm going to add actually the colors here. The terminal is going to parse these special escape sequences and catch when I use them and replace them with colors. And here's a command which enables ANSI off and on to disable and enable the colors. So you see the colors here. There's not many colors here because there's not much stuff going on yet. But you can see that disabling the colors and enabling the colors and so on. Okay, let's move on. Now let's add some items. Treasures. More data. Shirts, shoes, bracelets, ties, dress, crowns, leggings, daggers, caps, battle suits, hammers, capes, overalls. Just some basic treasures. And each of these treasures is going to be made of something. So these are the things that they are going to be made of: iron, fur, gold, bronze, bamboo, and so on. And each item may be in some condition: awesome condition, excellent condition, good condition, and so on, poor and bad and trashed. And now there's a list of achievements. These are going to be used in the ending. That was obvious, wasn't it? Okay, now the items themselves. Each of them has the type, the build, and the condition. And let's add some accessory functions. Because the player needs to see what they are holding or what they are beholding. There are some functions for that purpose. We also need functions which calculate the weight and the worth, monetary value of the item. Now the player may have some items and the ground may have some items. This EQ class will fulfill both purposes. Short for equipment. This formatting class is really useful. It almost works the same as the boost format class, but this is a little bit nicer. Less parentheses. So because this is an English language game, we need some functions which handle English language. This _r function you see above in the window is a shorthand for creating the regular expressions. _f is defined in the same way in the print header that I'm not going to include in this video because it would make this video too long. So there's a function for removing the article from the word, such as an, the. A function for converting the words into plural, so you can say shirt, shirts. And there's a function which adds the article, a function which converts the first letter into uppercase, and now a function which makes a list of items. So you can, for example, say here that there are 2 shirts, 5 ties, 1 bamboo dagger, and so on. It makes the list in English. Instead of so the player will not see like there is a dagger, a dagger, a dagger, a dagger, and a dagger here. So it will say 5 daggers. This same print function is going to be used when looking at the room and when looking at player's inventory. Yeah, there are little differences. Some extra words are going to be printed when it's the inventory. Appraise function is going to be used for telling what the player finally achieved with all that they collected. Item reference. This is an interesting class. It took me a very long time to design this function or this class. It is responsible for parsing everything that the player says regarding items. With this function you can say, for example, you can say take a shirt, or take iron shirt, or take awesome iron shirt, or take two shirts, take 2 iron shirts, take the second iron shirt, which would be say like iron shirt 2, and also you can say take all. And of course I'm going to be using regular expressions here too. Here's how they are actually parsed. First I'm going to read the number in the beginning, just in case the player wants to say how many things they want to pick up. There's also possibility to take all. Now, if they didn't give a number of items to take, they might have given a number that describes which item specifically to take. If there's for example 5 daggers in the room, they might say dagger 3. So in that case it takes the 3rd dagger. That last part went really quickly, but there's also possibility to say except. So example you can say take everything except the coins. So it takes everything except the coins. And these functions, find money and find item, will use what I just wrote above and find everything that matches that description. Or actually the find item function will use it, not the find money function. Here I just wrote some examples what it can accept. Items have many names. Actually, how many does it? Doesn't make 24 names in total. How you can name them. So it will try every one of them to see which one matched. Now let's make a possibility to look at some specific item. This is a lambda function from C++ 11. Everything that matched the description is going to be added into the list first, and when the list is completed, then the list is going to be printed. But first the list is going to be assembled. Okay, now I'll add the commands. Then let's report the items in the room and then test it. Now let's find some items. Here's items. 2 iron ties, 1 dagger, an iron shoe, and so on. We can look at some particular item. Choose what we look at. There's not much that we can do so far, but here are some examples of how you can handle those items. Next step. So far we could only look at those items. We also need to pick up those items. So we need functions which move the items from room to player or from player to room. So this move function will do that. Just in case the player typed something incorrectly, there's going to be backup, which can be restored if there was an error. It's like in databases, there's commit and rollback. The backup is going to be similar to the rollback. Now right now you couldn't see what I was going to type there because there was an error, but the code was still written properly. Usually when I make these videos, I create the commentary very slowly. I record one sentence at a time and record it many times to get it perfect, and then I put it on the timeline in my Audacity wave editor. But in this case I'm in a little bit in hurry, so I'm creating the commentary as I'm watching the video. So if you are expecting a higher quality of commentary and you are disappointed because you don't see what you expected, or you don't hear what you expected, this is because of that. So now a function to get items from something. By default we get items from a room and put them in the inventory. Now we do the same in the other direction. So get will move items from a room to player, and put will move items from a player to room. And in the look function I add some extensions, because in the future not only are you going to look at in the room, you are also going to look at what does an item contain. So these changes are necessary for that purpose. Okay, and now the commands. Inventory manipulation commands. Inventory, getting something, putting something. And finally, because now we can actually get something, let's report in the end what the player got. Testing. Let's find those items again. Get them. get these two. Yeah, maybe. And drop all shirts. Drop all ties. Oops. Get all shirts. So yeah, that's basic item manipulation. Next, to make the game more interesting, let's put some chests there. Chests are special items which can contain other items. They are a little bit different from the items that I created before. Chests cannot be carried, they can never be picked up. They are going to be reported in the room. And if you look in the chest, you cannot see anything because it's locked. And now you can take something from something. The player might try to take something from a chest. But it doesn't work because it's locked. The same thing happens with a drop or put method. And now handling those commands. You need to be able to open the chest, otherwise there's no benefit to having those chests. You can only open chests. The player might try to open the chest with their own hands, or the player character's hands. But it doesn't really work very well, and they may sprain their body parts. When the chest finally opens, whatever it contained will be sprayed on the floor, and because the chest doesn't really actually contain anything, when the chest is destroyed we actually generate random items. So it will appear as if the chest actually contains something. This random number seed here is going to be used so that the results are going to be predictable. So it's not a random game, it's a predictable game. The player may also use an implement, a tool, for opening the chest. Different items are going to be used differently. Oh, they are going to work differently. These are the rules by which it works. And these are the body parts that may get damaged while you are trying to open the chest. chests cannot be picked up, so we need a immovable flag for the items. So the move will always fail of those items that are immovable. Okay, let's try. Okay, here is a chest. This is what you see when you look at the chest. Now you try to open it, but it's without a tool it's not so easy. It took 4 tries in total. Okay, next special type of item, cart. A cart is an item that also may contain items, but the player can actually see what the cart contains. They can put things in the cart, they can get things from the cart, and most importantly, the cart can be moved. Because the player is fighting for their life, and everything they do in the game will shorten that life, such as carrying items. Carrying heavy items will eat their life very quickly. They need this cart, so that it is much easier to pull the cart than to carry the items oneself. Here's how we do pulling. If the player is pulling a cart, we find all that is cart in the room and remove them from this room and put them in the other room. So that way the cart will appear to have moved. So now we can actually look in something, and we can get something from something, and we can put something in something. Okay, let's test it. First we are going to pick up this shoe. Then I'm going to open the chest with the shoe. It opens easily, but none of these are really valuable. But I'm going to take that tie because it's really good for opening chests. And this platinum bracelet is quite valuable. I'm going to take it. Next, let's find more items. Actually, I found a cart here, so I'm going to use this cart. So now to find more items. Let's open this chest using the tie that I just got previously. Golden shoe. Let's put it in the cart. I should actually put the bracelet also there. The item, the tie that I opened the chest with, just got damaged a little. Let's get everything and put everything except the iron tie in the cart, because I need the tie for opening those chests. Okay, there's many chests here. I'm going to stop pulling the cart and just open every chest and see what is worth picking up. Okay, there's many items. Let's go pick up the cart now. Oh, this chest too also. Okay. Platinum shoe, that's really valuable. Okay. that should be everything we need here. Let's pull the cart and take everything and put everything in the cart. There's quite a lot of stuff in the cart now. Let's open some more chests, because we haven't used even half of the life yet. 152 platinum coins. That never happened to me before. Okay, almost done here. I'm really finding some valuable stuff here. Almost done. Okay, I actually beat the game here. If you can do better than I did here, please post whatever score you got, how much gold you managed to find in the game before you died, or before the game ended. So that was my little roguelike game. I actually created the game in 5 years ago, but I just posted it now. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.